Welcome to another Top 20 video game music show. This week we are looking at Nintendo exclusives. Thank you to the producers of this show, Kris, Rudi, Claudio, Dr. Schwarz's Rin Beat Crit Machine, and Steve. I am your host, Matthew Falvey. This is Pilotwings Resort Hang Glider Extended. Oh yeah. A great question raised by Claudio. How can we define Nintendo music? Is that possible? Hopefully we will find the answers to that within this show. If I had to go off the top of my head, I would say a lot of Nintendo music has a little bit of joy in it, even if it's a sad piece. There's that little spark of hope. And it feels kind of colorful to me, a little more rounded. It's not trying to make you feel miserable. But we shall see. Upbeat, sure, but it's not just like upbeat in a way of it's upbeat like it is a positive outlook, perhaps. Let's go with Chris's first pick, our first pick of the day. This is Moonstruck Blossom from Kirby Triple Deluxe. This sounds relaxing. Well, if we're trying to define Nintendo music, this definitely is upbeat, pretty positive. I think it has like an innocent feel to it, even when it's kind of dark. There's something that almost seems childish in a way, child-friendly, even though the music itself is very, very mature, and a lot of things going on. Really nice, like definitely Kris-style drums. He loves that breakbeat where things start going really fast and almost feel like they're tripping over each other. Like Kris is carrying the drums down some stairs and he falls. He's grabbing on. Sounds pretty good. Kris broke his neck. Well, now he has a legacy. He finally has something to be proud of. You enjoy the gameplay better than Mario games? Many Mario games? I've gotta check this out, because I, as well, have not played very many Kirby games. I think as I was coming... Oh, a little Kris drum solo there. As I was coming out of my Nintendo phase, that's when Kirby started becoming more popular, it felt like. Yeah, Kris, we weren't recording it, so if you just want to do that again, it'll take you a while to get up the stairs with all those drums again. I'll wait. I had to go to the bathroom anyway. Our next choice is by Rudi. This is from Chibi Robo 25, Abandoned Memories. sounds nice. Oh. It's like Silent Hill. And just like that, it's over. A pretty short one. Only 1 minute 30. I'm not really familiar with Chibi Robo. I haven't heard the soundtrack before, or the music. Now this one is definitely more melancholic than a lot of the Nintendo tracks that we would expect. It definitely has a very cold feeling to it. With those, it's the way they have the synth strings and the way the strings are warbling. I think that's what gives it the Silent Hill feel. Is it sounds like you're trying to sound cold and depressing, but you're also modifying them, giving them sort of like lo-fi, altered state. But it definitely feels like a spaceship in the sense of it's like there's a bit of flight. It's a bit cold, sort of metallic, industrial, but like the blackness of space. A robot in space. But as we can see, this robot is coming inside your house. Oh, he's coming? Robots need love too. Our next song is one of the grand champion songs of our show. It's been on many episodes of the Top 20 show. I've played it when I need to calm down. Say I'm struggling against a Miyazaki boss. Maybe I'm just doing a nice long glide in Breath of the Wild. From Pilotwings 64, this is Birdman. Yeah, baby. Composed by Dan Hess. Thank you for pointing that out in the chat. Here's the story of it. Dan Hess says, I don't know how many tunes I actually wrote in an attempt to appease Wada-san's need for floaty fluffy, but I think 20 would be a conservative estimate. This went on for the first 7 weeks of the last integration trip. I'd write a few tunes, work them up and present them to Wada-san, who would give me some kind of puzzled look, smile, and shake his head. This grew increasingly frustrating and became my main focus. As the looming deadline sped closer, more of Paradigm's personnel were shifted from Paradigm Simulation to Paradigm Entertainment. Okay. The development became very campy as most of the company is basically under lockdown. All meals were catered and our little kitchen was loaded with any beverage or snack you could want so we could stay in the studio at all times. We would grab a few hours of sleep on couches at our desks. The chief programmer invited me to share his larger office. We enjoyed working together. I moved my entire audio rig in there and proceeded to write and create tracks mostly over headphones, but sometimes sharing them over speakers. In fact, Mike inspired the Cannonball track and its gradual tempo increase. One day I was playing around with various feels and grooves, searching for the Birdman track, when a tune began to form in my head and I quickly worked it up. Listening to it in its early stages, it sounded like Barry White's soul groove, chilled and kinda sexy, dreamy if you will. I was slap happy by this time, just creating for the sake of creating. At one point, I threw it up on the speakers for Mike to hear with a smile, and we both got a kick out of it. At that very moment, Wada-san happened to be walking down the hall just outside of Mike's office. He stood in the doorway, listened for a moment, a grin growing on his face, and began jumping up and down and flapping his arms. Birdman, I asked? His head nodded excitedly. I spent the next hour or so adding in various solos, which was kind of tongue-in-cheek, some complete with applause breaks. After some melody tweaks, the tune felt right, and I was finally past the Birdman track. Yeah. Oh, the bass is so good. It just really sounds like people playing. So much feel. Those synthy pads are just so well utilized to not sound cheap. The way these drums start sneaking in here, these little extra ghost notes, perfectly pitched up and just so floaty. If for a game where you're trying to maintain altitude, gradually losing it, coming back up. It is now the official theme song of this show. I don't know what this is going to sound like, but I got a feeling it's going to be quite different from Birdman. This is chosen by Longbow Synthesis or Dr. Reen Bean. Fire Emblem Fates Conquest, Dusk Falls. Oh. Good lordy! How about that? A wee bit of music from over the hills there. Man, this song is so beautiful in so many ways. I mean, the instruments, they just sound so pristine and so elegant and like to be cherished. They sound like the fresh dew on the grass or water coming down a mountainside. Or the water coming off this anime girl dancing around. It kind of sounds like it could be in Diablo if instead of Diablo being in hell, it was in heaven. This was on the 3DS. Wow. The guitar acts like a bass line. Oh, good point. Yeah, you have that same melody repeating, but everything around it is changing, which creates all this tension. Because now the melody, instead of it being this hopeful thing, it's like it's fighting against the key changes all around it. Like light-footed dancers. Yeah. Thank you, Phoenix Master 1, for the video. Good way to put it, Chris. Our next selection, made by Steve, is from Snowboard Kids 2, another N64 game, apparently only on the N64. That's what we're looking for. Nintendo exclusives. Let's check it out. A lot of snowboard games on the N64. Ah. This one goes out to Prince. I am on a snowboard, and I'm a kid, and it's a sequel. Is it better than 1080? Maybe the parents will buy it because they think that 1080 will make their kids smoke pot. Pot, 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 no, not. Ooh! I'm going full Robert De Niro. It's pretty good. Pretty good. Well, that wasn't the highest quality recording, but you get the idea of it. It does kind of sound like a boss theme. It definitely sounds... What is it about it that makes it sound like it's at night? It definitely sounds like a star, and that it's that you're... I think it's the synth sounds being so synthy and so fast and so like quick. You know, they don't have a long decay. They're not big synth pads, and the way they almost sound like beeps and boops. It's like you're actually on a highway at night. You know, like cars are honking at you and lights are coming by really quickly. But it's a little more, I don't know, starlight. When I hear star, I think space. This is like, you could play this on Elon Musk's new battery-operated highway that he's building in Vegas. Oh, I could see that, yeah. I think, and there's that kind of bap, 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 bap. Little bit of, what do you call it? Polyrhythm? Cha, cha, cha. Yeah, it's because it's got that real harsh synthy sound, where usually a lot of Nintendo tracks are, because they just usually have samples and they compress them, it's very like soft and pleasing to the ear, super compressed. But this is more like full-on lead synth playing. I like the looks of this. Kid Icarus Uprising, Icarus. This track is called Pandora's Labyrinth of Deceit. Chosen by Kris. Whoa. Wow, that was super duper intense. Yeah, Kris, that's a good way to put it. It does feel like a labyrinth where you can't really predict where the next chord is going to be, you know, where it's going to transition into, even like the different pieces of it. This piece here, where it started, for each section is just so unpredictable, it seems like. And that's the best idea. I mean, if you can have an idea of a theme, I want to make this sound like a labyrinth, then you try to do everything possible to, you know, make it, yeah, like you say, it's borderline discordant, massive shifts in style partway through, but still very gripping and easy to follow. Yeah, I never felt like it was trying to be, you know, different just for the sake of it. You know, unpredictable and wild. It wasn't just, what the hell? It just rewinded. Yeah, literal interpretation. But accessible. That's quite the feat. We got another heavy hitter coming up. This is from Mother 3, chosen by Rudi. This is Master Porky's theme. Oh my god. Wow. This goes on, we're at 1:49, and it goes on until 5 minutes and 34 seconds, so good lord, there's a lot more that this is probably going to grow into, but what a cool boss theme to let you know that you are fighting, indeed. What is this? It looks like a mechanical spider baby guru old man. Could this is this remastered? This is from the Game Boy Advanced? Mother 3? That's insane. Actually, that's really impressive. If you could pull all this off on a Game Boy Advanced. I mean, those horns definitely sound like they're on the Game Boy Advance. Sometimes it's just knowing what instruments are going to sound the best and what's the best way to play them. You know, like those drum samples, if you really listen to them, they do sound like pretty cheesy and fake, but they mix all that stuff really low. The fakest stuff is really low volume, and then they have like these orchestra hits, which obviously sound fake, but they're so fake in a way that they're like a synth. Like a synth is fake, but it's accepted as what it is, you know? It's sort of like the difference between trying to have a character look like very realistic, a video game character, or just embracing that it doesn't need to be totally photorealistic, but it can still look very, like, more stylized realism. Anyways. Oh, take a look. Super Mario Galaxy 2. This is the throwback Galaxy. So if you're already nostalgic enough just seeing that logo, we're going to take it to the nth degree. Woohoo! So that's the a remade version of the Mario 64 theme. When you think of just how iconic the theme from Super Mario Brothers 1 is, I don't think any of them live up to it in terms of the cultural significance. Like, you can play the theme from the first Super Mario Brothers, and just about anybody of any age is going to probably recognize that it's from a video game. But I think that they did a great job with the Mario 3 main theme, Super Mario World. And then Super Mario 64 started this trend to, I don't know, make it sound like a band down in New Orleans is playing it. You know, like a sort of a small, maybe a 4-piece, 6-piece, kind of like a big, and then this is kind of blowing that up, making it feel like a big band is playing it. And where like Super Mario World sort of sounded like it was a little ragtime band, or like very Americana. Mario 3 kind of was a bit reggae. This was just so fun in terms of just... The music just sounds like big leaps and bounds and like big impacts landing on things and exploding. And just so fun. I do like that idea of it being a Mario's talk show. And he comes out like Alan and he just dances the whole time. And then the show's over. Another powerhouse franchise. This is from Zelda, the Minish Cap. And it is chosen by Claudio. The track is Temple of Droplets. Ooh, man. Yeah, you can definitely feel the snow with the sleigh bells, but it's a very ominous sleigh bell. The most ominous sleigh bells of all time. This video up here is from our Zelda ranking countdown reveal party, which is really fun. We took a look at every single Zelda game, and everybody voted and ranked them, and then we tabulated all the votes up and put them in order. This one definitely feels more like it's on the Game Boy Advanced, with those more sort of crystalline Game Boy sounds. But again, if the weakness of the Game Boy sounds are that they can sound a bit crystally, a bit sort of cold, they're pretty damn good for doing a Temple of Droplets theme song. Look how dark I used to have my camera. What was wrong with me? Was I scared? Was I scared of the light? Where a lot of us didn't play a lot of Zeldas and ranked them either way? Yeah. You'll never guess what's number one. Actually, I downloaded a whole bunch of them. And because you can actually play almost every Zelda on your Wii U. Anyway, I downloaded a bunch, some illegally, and just gave a quick run through. There's so many solid Zelda games. If you really dig what Zelda does, it's pretty nice for you. This next track is chosen by Steve. It is whatever the hell Baten Kaitos is. Water Clouds. Yeah, that is a very, very, very wild track. Man, it does that amazing modulation where it just sounds so heavenly and sort of like mystical, but important, religious, kind of spiritual, almost like you're Nathan Drake, and you emerge into a big golden temple and you're seeing something that has a lot of weight to it. The rhythm, there's a lot of rhythm changes going all over here. Sakuraba really knows how to be rocking with an orchestra and how to bring in different melodies from like Latin music. And such a nice fusion. The guy knows how to make video game music. Yet another big boy or girl. Girl's name. This one is chosen by Kris. It is from A Link Between Worlds, and it is the lorule main theme. Opposite of Hyrule. Oh, yeah. Give it to me. Oh man, that's great. I mean, obviously a very classic theme. I like the rearrangement of it, the new instruments that they bring into it. I like that acoustic that feels very percussive and almost glassy, like it's being played with a handful of knives. Yeah, it's got a lot of nice Latin feel to it. Latin instruments, the trumpets. Very folkloric, yeah. And it's a very sort of organic feel, too. With every instrument being something that could be played acoustically. The strings. Yeah, the violin, the cellos. And the trumpet and the guitar. Nothing needs to be plugged in. There's nothing fake in it. Which is interesting, too, as it's going to lorule. Do you think maybe they try to add something it's a bit maybe sinister? But I guess lorule in itself is not sinister. It's just the opposite of Hyrule. You should get off your high horse. You son of a bitch. So we were talking about this artwork on our... What was it? The show we did on Saturday or Sunday. On our top 20 game covers. Cover art. Not covers of music. These things. And, this artist, and every time I bring up someone, people go, "That's not it. That's from a different game." All look the same to me. So, this is from Front Mission on the SNES. It is Gun Hazard, and it's Uematsu. Uematsu on not a Final Fantasy track. I'm very excited to hear this. No buo shit. Wow, that sounded amazing. And this is some kind of a strategy game. I gotta give this one a try. With incredible art made by Squaresoft. This looks fantastic. Man, it's so wrong game in the screen. Oh god, I can never get front mission figured out. Front mission gun hazard is what it's supposed to be. Anyways. Yeah, he's using those arpeggios to outline the chords and create that tension. Those like really confident use of the synths, those stabs, the militaristic snare. Grounding it in this world. Oh man. The way it's like he has these really dramatic and unexpected chord changes and the places that he takes the melodies. He tells such a story with his melodic phrasing. That pulsating bass, keeping it all going. And he just loves rocking. We've got yet another powerhouse, perhaps one of the biggest powerhouses. This show originally started as just a top 20 music, and it had no theme. It was just going to be video game music, and maybe the same tracks were going to stand, sort of like the top 40 music charts. And this was the one that appeared the most in the first couple of episodes before we decided to do themes over a year ago now. This is composed by David Wise. It's from Diddy's Kong Quest. Oh, I just got that. Why does it say Stickerbush Symphony on the picture? And then here it says Bramble Blast. Oh, I see. This is the music that plays during the Bramble Blast level of Donkey Kong Country 2. I get it. So weird to title your thing that. Look, even with this ridiculous name, Bramble Blast, it still has 3 million views because people know what it is. And it's got such an incredible job of putting this font on it. Ooh, here we go. Man, I don't know, it's hard to think of something else to say about his music. Obviously, David Wise is a master of layering and ambience. A lot of times you think of ambient music and it can be really boring, but his music has a real propulsion to it. And to me, his music always feels like where a lot of music sounds like it's going from left to right, his music feels like it's going up. It's like there's little, like you're underwater and there's bubbles rising up above you. I mean, there's a real talent to doing that. The kind of chords you need to choose and the melodies and even just those rhythms. It's incredible. It really is incredible. So it's like a true masterpiece. It undulates. I remember that Flintstones on You song being really incredible. I don't remember it though. We should put it on again. I know that one was a good, it was like a great showpiece for the Super Nintendo hardware. I think it's that every one of his melodic lines is also very rhythmic too. Rolls over itself up and down. Yeah, exactly. Good Lord. That was incredible. Boop, bop, bop, deep, bop, ba, Wow, what a great track. It's cool that if you were just listening to the last one, Stickerbush Symphony, which is the last one we heard, right? And you were thinking, oh, I just want to hear David Wise expanded, you know, into the cutting-edge gameplay that a Wii U can offer. Yeah, and the Wii U has a lot of great games now. By the time the Wii U was dead, it had a lot of great games. But yeah, the Switch has a lot of great games too. It's just really annoying when they take a game from the Wii U that came out in 2013, 2012 or something, and then charging you full price for it's like hardly remastered or anything. Because the Switch is barely more powerful than the Wii U. Wii U was quite powerful for a Nintendo machine at the time. But Nintendo still makes really great games. So, they make enough, and they don't just make great games, but they have I just really appreciate their philosophy when it comes to the games they make, and the way they value gameplay. And, sometimes being innovative, sometimes being stuck in the past. They just usually is a fairly good seal of quality. And if you're buying the game physically, then they tend to hold their value too, which I guess if you're on the black market for a Nintendo game, sure. I think one of the qualities with Nintendo music is that there's some game music, just like movie music, that is really great while you're playing the game, but not necessarily something you would want to hear outside of it. But I think a lot of Nintendo music is very fitting to be listened to outside of the game, because it's not designed to be like claustrophobic or cause you horror or frustration or pain, or it's not just like it's not wallpaper. It's a centerpiece. Oh, baby, Mario Hoops. I've never played this, but I did give a listen to this track earlier today. Spoiler alert, I liked it. It's an interesting track. It definitely sounds, it's almost a little sloppy And it's almost a little too repetitive. But it's just so, it's such a vibe. It just creates such a nice mood. And it's got a lot of hallmarks from 90s dance music, with the 4 on the floor and the hand claps from the, that's like a 909, Roland 909 drum machine. I like those. Sounds like it could be in Streets of Rage. But Streets of Rage would tighten things up a little bit. So surprisingly loose for a Nintendo track. But it's really good, and definitely not something you'd expect when you're playing whatever Mario Hoops is on your 3DS, or your DS actually, on the Sherbert stage. And it's got that really sort of icy, glacially sound to it. And that big synth bass that Nintendo loves. I could see this being on the Dreamcast, Joss. In a Sega, not a snowboarding game, but like a snow sledding game. When Square uses the Nintendo characters, they get a little more perverted with it. Let's make them look a little sexier. Can we do that, please? Can Satan control my eyes?
Guess shorter skirts.
Should Wario also be sexy? No. Hey, that's a double standard. I mean, Wario's already sexy enough. He's got the most junk in anyone's trunk. Where are the Final Fantasy characters? Boo. Diddy. Ah, we got it. It's a Moogle. Whoa. It looks a bit more like a cat. Alright, the Moogle looks very strange. And then we're back to rare characters. Birdo Bowser. Shy Guy. Yeah, I mean, Square may make sexy characters, but Nintendo would never, ever make. Well, I guess it depends what you're into. This is from Splatoon 2, the Octo expansion, chosen by Kris. Fly, Octo, fly. Ebb and flow. The Caitlin Coy music video. Alright, is this safe for work? Oh, it pounds! Wow. That pounds. It's really nice. You know, good, as the Brits would say, good shout on the voice filter. And how the voice filter does make it sound like they're underwater. Because they're squid people, right? They're sort of like up and above and up and above. I love Splatoon. The aesthetic of it. because I'm a real creep. But, I mean, the colors look so bloody good. I show it to Stella all the time. She's a painter, and I go, look at this paint. Don't you just want to eat it? I want to eat the paint so much. And for somebody who's not very good at aiming and shooting games, it's a game you can play and feel like you're contributing. So many different ways to play. That's what I think keeps me into it. Like, I went through a very short but very intense Fortnite infatuation, where once I really started liking it, I had it on my Switch, I had it on my phone. I just wanted to play it all the time. But because I wasn't good at building stuff at the end, I was lost. I could always get to number 2. Not always. I could get to number 2 a few times. But Splatoon, if you want to switch it up, you could become a sniper, you can shotgun blast, you can just roll things. It's pretty incredible. And also, when you're playing online on Nintendo, it's not like White Man Killer 69420 or, the Nazis were right. It's just Steve, Kris. It's nice. Vibrant but not over the top or garish. Perfect. Yeah, I'm surprised. It's funny though, because Nintendo seems to, they just call things sequels, and you go like, well, that looks exactly like the first game. You added a bunch of stuff, but that's the same game. But whatever. I guess it's like it becomes a platform. To me, it looks more like DLC. But I guess there's more. There's a whole other single player mode. But I always just played for the stages, and it's always like there's always just going to be the same kind of weapons and most of the same weapons, and there's only a few stages. Anyways, I love Splatoon, and this music is really fun. Our next song is chosen by Rudi. This is from Top Gear 3000 on the Super Nintendo. The track is called Results. That's a great track. Yeah, Josh, you're right. It does sound very good for a 16-bit piece. The piano and the drums sound really good. Nice synths. Yeah, it's not. It's more of a cruising theme because this is what you would hear, I guess, at the end of the race when you're looking at the results. So it's more of a relaxed feel. The bass is constantly moving, but it's relaxed. It's more like you've stopped the race, but you haven't even stopped. It's more like the cars are still kind of cruising around the track at a slow speed, winding down. Because if they come to a complete stop, they'll get the bends. Really nice track. Unexpected. Why is there an alien on the cover? It's in the year 3000. Drivers have one big eye and three small eyes on the top. Win the hyperspace race. Our penultimate track, chosen by Dr. Schwartz's Green Bean Crit Machine, is from Punch Out. This is Disco Kid. Pause. Yeah. Man, that is really nice. You could see that in Persona 5. That really heavy, gritty bass. Really soft electric keyboards. Very sparse. Definitely sounds like a pause theme. Like it's not letting itself fully develop. There's that one part where it sort of kicks in and the rhythm starts amping up around it a little bit, but definitely feels like a break from the intense fighting. So nice to hear real instruments in Nintendo stuff. You didn't pick this one? No, this is from Claudio. You pick the next one. Beautiful. Alright, this one is actually picked by Dr. Schwartz's Green Bean Crit Machine. It is from Mario and Luigi Dream Team, composed by Yoko Shimomura. So you know it's going to be pretty damn good. This is Dreamy Somnom Labyrynth. Poor Yoko, always have to work with these ridiculous titles. Yoko Shimomura never fails with incredible piano and orchestral arrangements. Sounds too deep. That is something she has. Her stuff is always... You know when you hear somebody that can really sing and they're just so good. Not even somebody who's kind of showing off and singing, but you're instantly drawn to it. There's something about the way they can convey themselves. Her music is like that. It doesn't have to be ridiculously complex. It's just so emotional. But not emotional like My Chemical Romance. Or even like, Ave Maria or something. Kind of similar. You could actually see this in a Donkey Kong game. It has that nice ambience and sort of like multi-layered rhythms. Everything's very soft. That like very chimey piano, almost like a music box. Oh my god, and this part is just so uplifting. Oh my god. I'm like, what the hell are you doing in this song? The Dreamy Somnom Labyrynth. This is the second Labyrinth track we've had today. Oh. Like, okay, this part that was just there. What is that? Like what would you say that is? Da, 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 da. Oh. Da, 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 da. Good lord. Well, I don't know how you're going to beat a Yoko Shimomura track like that to end off our week. And Steve has the last pick. And his pick for Nintendo exclusive. What do you think it's going to be? Mario, Zelda, Donkey Kong, Final Fantasy, Sonic. It's me. I'm a Nintendo. From Sonic Battle. Chosen by Steve. This is Emerald City. well. It's got a good energy to it. It's pretty fun. I think that Game Boy Advance crunch, as somebody put it, is it's like really it's hard to kind of appreciate everything that the song has. It's so obnoxious, but it definitely has, like, if you cross Sonic's obnoxious attitude with whatever these robots are, or whatever this game is, I can see it. It's not what I expected. And I wouldn't mind hearing like a remastered version or remixed or something. Every time I think the word remix, though, I just imagine somebody going... A lot of the Sonic battle sprites are used in fan games and Mutant, too. Huh. It looks like they're trying to launch a TV show.
There'll be toys. The kids can buy the toys. They're really going to like it. They have to level up. They're going to get attached. We're going to make the kids addicted to it, yeah. And then when they're old enough, we'll have Sonic casinos. Yeah, that's right. And then we can also sell Sonic crack cocaine. Yeah. Yeah. More shows. TV, movie, comics, hot dogs.
But won't people think, are the hot dogs made of hedgehogs? Maybe. Well, that was pretty interesting.